Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. With me, I have, I think the first nonprofit that I ever found when I moved to Tacoma, now 25 years ago, that's right. And that is Pierce County AIDS Foundation, and they're here to talk about dining out for life. Yep, it's that time again where you can make a big difference with your wallet and with your hungry stomach. 3 times on that day, and I invite you to also have snacks as well. So please join me in welcoming the lovely Jill Rose. You are the Development and Communications Director for Pierce County AIDS Foundation. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. I love seeing you on Facebook, but I love you even more in person. And I don't get enough of that. You brought with you Mr. Wilmer Galindo. I had to say your whole name because it's so fabulous. You are the Development Coordinator for Pierce County AIDS Foundation. Welcome, my dear. This is your first time on CityLine.
Yes, it is.
Well, it will be the first of many if I have my way. How's that? And this handsome man, Mr. Patrick Haight, you are the owner of the Camp Bar, and you are participating in Dining Out for Life, and you also have a beautiful story you're going to share with us. Welcome, Patrick.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Let's start out with Jill for people who have just moved here, or maybe let's say that they have their first job. They're a fabulous millennial and they now have money that they're going to use to go eat out. So tell them, what is Dining Out for Life?
Well, there really is something for everyone. Dining Out for Life, this is actually our 25th year of doing it here in Pierce County. Wow. The event itself is actually an international event. Mm-hmm. Most of them happen on the same day in different cities all across the United States and in a few other countries. But all the money stays locally right here in our community and supports the work of the Pierce County AIDS Foundation, or PCAF, in the work that we do. So basically, folks pick a restaurant from a long list. We've got almost 60 restaurants participating this year, which is our biggest in many years. Pick a restaurant. If you go to the website, it'll tell you all that you need to know about what they're offering. And when you dine out that day, a portion of the sales of your proceeds will go back to PCAF to help us do the work that we do. So,
I love that. It's a win-win.
Easy. Yep.
Total win-win, because people eat out anyway. I'll just use me as an example. I constantly dine up and down 6th Avenue and Pacific Avenue and Proctor, all over the place, because I want to give back locally. And this is your chance to really hit it out of the park on behalf of that. Patrick, you are a you are the owner of the newly opened the Camp Bar, which is one of the newest restaurants for Dining Out for Life. And even though the restaurant is new and you are new to the lineup, you've been a long supporter of HIV and AIDS causes, and you are eager to get involved, which is why you're here today. But you also have a very personal connection to HIV that you're going to share with us. So tell us what that is.
Yeah, my brother was a well-known artist in Seattle in the 80s, and quite the character, and everybody knew him in the Seattle area. And he ended up passing from HIV in 1992. And so at that time, there was a lot of stigma surrounding that. There weren't a lot of services provided for people like that. So luckily, the family went around him and supported him. But I did realize just how many people in his circle and friends that didn't have that kind of support. So this is a great foundation. I'm really excited to be a part of it. And I've been working with the AIDS Foundations over the last 2 decades in Seattle, and I'm really proud to do it here in Tacoma.
Oh, thank you for that. And I'm so sorry for your loss. It's something that never goes away, does it?
No, never.
He's with you every single moment of the day, and you continue to love him and honor him through the work that you do. And you're right, back then there was not a lot. I mean, there wasn't anything in the 80s except just a lot of sadness and sorrow. But even in the 90s, we were just starting to get all of our services together and to really make it a safe place for people to talk about this. So I just want to say thank you to you so much, and also for just being a part of Dining Out for Life, because you've really opened yourself up in so many ways, and you have so much to teach us. So to you big time. Your parents did a great job on you. So Wilmer, let's talk about how people can get involved with this wonderful event.
Sure, yeah. It's very simple. Just go to our website, diningoutforlife.com/South Sound, to select a participating restaurant and dine out on April 25th. And of course, it's always more fun to dine out with your friends and family.
Yes.
So invite them over and have a great meal.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, and I love to see what people do on Facebook and where they're going. And like, for instance, I know that your director, Eric, he has a table every year at a restaurant, and he puts out these big invitations. And we try to fill up lots of tables. But I also know people that have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then they go someplace else for dessert. So don't just think of it as one meal. I want to challenge you that if you're only doing one meal, you have 3 more that you're missing out on. So get out there and do that. So Patrick, other restaurants that you've been involved with have participated in Dining Out for Life, like Tiny Bigs. So what are you looking forward to at your restaurant during that day? And how do you want your diners to experience this event?
I think it's just a great way for their friends to get together, to remember people that may have been affected by HIV. But it's also a celebration of life. Because,
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that have really, the research and the survival rate of HIV has come tremendously from the early 90s. So it's a great way to be with people that you love and care about, and why not do it over some drinks and food?
Yeah, honorarium, but also in that sense of, as you said, celebrating life and breaking down stigma and barriers and coming together as a community also. I think that's really important. And also, I think, boosting the confidence of those ambassadors as well, and thanking them for volunteering their time and what they have to say when they come up to your table. I love this event so very much. So Jill, when we think about the funds that will be raised, how are they used?
Well, as I said, all the money stays locally. So PCAF has 2 offices here in Tacoma and also in Olympia, and all of the funds will be used to provide our prevention services. So we do free testing throughout the community, lots of education and awareness, events and activities, to help reduce the spread of HIV. And we also provide great case management services for anyone who's living with HIV or AIDS. So that can involve assistance with housing, transportation, mental health, whatever the client's needs are, that is what this money will support. So it really helps on both the prevention side and the case management side with the over 800 folks every year who access our services.
Over 800. Boy, there will be a day when we hope that number is much smaller. But until then, one of the things that I think that PCAF does so well is those wraparound services. They embrace the whole being of somebody who needs this kind of help. So when we think about, Wilmer, the kind of impact of this event, in terms of the work that's being done, what comes to mind for you?
You know, stigma is just still a really big part of
It is.
the HIV work that we're doing. And that's something that we're really working on to end the HIV epidemic in South Sound.
Yeah, it's a big one. That stigma causes people to, it's fear. It's just fear, and it causes people to walk away from solutions, and it causes us to isolate. And then when people who are suffering are isolated, they become depressed, they disconnect, and then many times we lose them. And that's not what this community needs right now. We all need to come together, because an illness is an illness is an illness, whether it's cancer, whether it's pneumonia, whether it's HIV or AIDS. We all need love and people to reach out and help us during those times. I want to talk about, Jill, with you, some of the repeat offenders that we have, because there are restaurants that are in this for life. Who are they?
There really are. Folks who've done this year after year will recognize many of the same restaurants who've participated for many, if not all, of the 25 years that we've done this. So we have at least one restaurant we know of that has every single year been involved in this event, and that's Marzano Italian Restaurant.
Yay!
We also have many others who've done almost every single year. Southern Kitchen is a long-term one, Gateway to India, East West Cafe. There's more than I can recall right now, but there's a handful who literally have done this for almost every single year for 25 years.
I love that. I'm looking at my list. Oh, Primo.
Primo,
yes. Also Antique Sandwich Company and Marcia
yes.
Silver Spoon.
Yes.
The best breakfast. Well, one of the best breakfasts. And then Wilmer, who's new this year? This is the one I always want to go a big wahoo to the new people.
Of course. Well, first we have the Camp Bar joining us for the first time this year.
Where adults go to camp.
That's right. As adults camp out.
We've got the Matriarch at Alma Mater.
Love that place.
Tonola. Mexican restaurants. I'm going to look at my list here just so I don't miss any. Cook's Tavern, Wooden City, and Zeke's Pizza, Zodiac Supper Club as well.
Oh,
here in
fabulous.
Tacoma. We've got
Gosh, I mean, for a new restaurant, with all they have to think about to say yes to this, that is really opening up and really setting the example. So huge thank you to them. So for all three of you here in these last few minutes, I want you to, each of you, answer this question from your point of view. And this is the question: how has HIV and AIDS, how is it now compared to the first year, 25 years ago, of dining out for life? And Jill, why don't you take that first?
Well, we've seen many great advancements and improvements in medication and services that are available to folks, which are all really, really encouraging. People now can live a long and healthy life with the adequate support that they need.
Right.
Whereas back in the day, it was really figuring out how to live what you had left as best as possible. Yeah. So there's just been great advancements, including PrEP, in terms of preventing HIV. And then if you do end up with HIV, there's many great treatment programs to keep people really healthy and living vibrant lives.
Yeah. Wilmer, what would you add to that?
You know, I'm just thinking of it right now. I believe that Philadelphia came out in 1990.
Oh, that movie.
So that was 25 years ago. Just to get a sense of the amount of time that's passed, but also how that was a big movie that came out and put HIV, AIDS in the forefront of the mainstream.
Yeah, and boy, have we changed since then. Patrick, what do you want to add?
I want to add that I think that back in the early 90s, it was like an underground network of people trying to communicate as far as navigating when a family member or a friend is diagnosed. And I think that back then it was like really an unknown and people weren't really sure where to go. And I think that now we've advanced so much further that there's this great network that Jill provides that people can actually go out and it's a lot easier for them to be able to deal with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we've been showing the website and we could do an hour on the show, but we are out of time. I know that you have a special Facebook announcement about some prizes, Wilmer, that you want people to go to. So we've been showing the website. I'm sure there'll be a link to that. And we want to thank anybody who has touched this event, from all the sponsors, the restaurants, the volunteers, everybody. And I want to say to the three of you, bon appetit. And I will see you out there in one of those restaurants, if not more. Okay? All right. All right, Raphael, are you ready to take it away? Here he comes.